Welcome to RSCH503, Research Methods and Biostatistics, a 3-credit graduate course offered by Drexel University, College of Nursing and Health Professions. Researchers investigate problems of interest to them, usually an area of concern where there exists a gap in the knowledge base of their discipline. Nurse researchers often study gaps in knowledge surrounding clinical practice problems. As you continue in our course, remain open to practice problems that may exist in your specialty area. Like a stethoscope, research tools help you to gather data and expand the evidence base for quality practice outcomes. A research problem statement includes the significance of the problem to the target population of your interest, the background of the problem or what is already known about the problem, and finally the problem statement, which identifies the specific gap in knowledge that is needed for quality practice. Investigators state their research purpose clearly in a concise statement. The research purpose provides the specific aim or focus of the study. The research purpose is based on the research problem. Again, the significance of the problem, the background of the problem, and often the variables, population, and setting of the study. How do investigators find research problems? Sources of problem statements surround you daily from your own clinical experience, from your interactions with other researchers, faculty, or clinicians, from the scientific literature, and from priorities outlined by professional associations or funding agencies, from existing theories, and more. Since research takes time, energy, and often resources, many investigators identify research problems of great interest to them. Problems that ignite their passion, curiosity, and commitment. Replicating research conducted previously by other investigators is critical to the advance of science and to the evidence base for practice. Replication research establishes credibility of previous findings, extends generalizability, reduces types 1 and 2 errors, corrects methodological limitations, supports theory development, and lessens acceptance of erroneous results. There are various types of replication studies. These include an exact replication. Generally, this is an ideal goal that cannot be achieved in reality. Other types of replication studies include the concurrent or internal replication, or the approximate or operational replication, or the systematic and constructive replication. The most common types of replication studies in nursing include the approximate and the systematic replication studies. The National Institutes of Nursing Research, NINR, was established within the National Institutes of Health in 1993. The NINR funds nursing research that will continue to build the scientific foundation of nursing practice, prevention of disease and disability, symptoms management, and end-of-life palliative care. Visit the website to learn more about NINR's research priorities and highlights, some of which are outlined on this slide. A research question is a concise statement that is worded in the present tense and includes one or more of a study's principal concepts. There are 3 parts to a research question. First, the questioning part, the what is or what are, or are there. The second part is a word that indicates what the researcher wants to know about the study variables or population. The third part is the naming of the population and variables, if appropriate. Research topics are commonly identified from practice. These topics generate research questions, some of which may be discarded as ultimately non-researchable. Eventually, one research problem rises to the top, becoming refined and clarified. Generally after a thorough literature review of the topic and often after exploration with colleagues and mentors. Once the research problem is determined, the research purpose is determined, and from it, research questions, objectives, and hypotheses are formulated. Using the stepwise process discussed in the previous slide, the investigator then moves on to a key question: is the research proposed feasible? There are several aspects to this question. First, does the investigator have the time to do the study? Researchers must build in time to conduct their study. Time is often as valuable to research as money. Money is a second factor. Investigators must be very detailed in estimating costs associated with their research, both direct and indirect costs. Research expertise is another factor. Does the investigator have the expertise to conduct the study? Is a team involved? Do team members clearly know their roles? Does the investigator have colleagues or a mentor to assist? Are subjects available to participate in this study? Is the targeted population of interest unique and/or protected? And lastly, have all investigators in a research project completed an IRB course in human subjects protection? Has the research project been approved by the institution's IRB? Bottom line, remember that the value of the knowledge gained in a study must outweigh any risks involved. Research objectives or aims are clear, concise, declarative statements presented after the problem and purpose have been identified. The variables in the study are identified and described in the research objectives or aims. Since the investigator indicates that the study will explore differences between two groups in terms of a variable, that type of research would be called a descriptive research. Sometimes relationships between two variables in a population are of interest to the researcher. Sometimes the researcher wants to determine if an independent variable can predict a dependent variable in the population of interest. Hypotheses are similar to research objectives or aims. They predict the outcomes of a study. Hypothesis testing allows investigators to generate knowledge in a specific area. A hypothesis specifies variables to be measured, identifies the population of interest, directs the type of research to be undertaken, and provides overall direction to the conduct of the study. This presentation was prepared for graduate nursing students at Drexel University College of Nursing and Health Professions. The primary book used in this research course is The Practice of Nursing Research, Appraisal, Synthesis, and Generation of Evidence, 2017 edition, by Jennifer R. Gray, Susan K. Grove, and Suzanne Sutherland. This book is published by Elsevier Saunders, St. Louis, Missouri.